Since 2018, when Mo Salah's arm got dislocated by Sergio Ramos, the games between Liverpool and Madrid have been nothing short of conflict, and I can remember Mo Salah declaring in an interview that the 2022 final in Paris was an opportunity for Liverpool to even the score from 2018.
If you ask me personally, I would prefer Madrid.
Do you think it's a revenge mission against Madrid? Do you see it like that?
Yeah.
But after 90 minutes and a total of 9 shots on target, Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. would score the one singular clear-cut opportunity for Madrid to seal the victory, with all the blame pointing towards Trent Alexander-Arnold, who took a nap during the goal. But that mistake would be quickly forgiven by Liverpool fans, and also Trent was still young and could only improve. But from the game, a clip of Trent went viral as he was the last Liverpool player to leave the field as he was watching Madrid celebrate. In hindsight, I think time has revealed maybe he was waiting for Madrid to ask him if he wanted to join in on the celebrations. Then a couple years later, a billboard of a Liverpool player, which is a direct rival of Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, pops up in the main city of Madrid, just 5 minutes away from the Bernabeu. Not long after that, Trent is seen signing jerseys while on holiday in Madrid, rubbing shoulders with Real Madrid star Jude Bellingham. But the Liverpool vice-captain had already said it himself, he was living a dream. I mean, he already had a mural in Liverpool and he always wanted to be like Gerrard.
Gerrard, really. Let's say, yeah, everything about his game I always admired, always studied him and wanted to be like him, so.
Can you imagine yourself playing your whole career at Liverpool?
Yeah, I can imagine that, yeah.
Would you fancy playing in Spain or Germany or?
It's not something I've ever really thought about.
I'm very excited, very happy, very proud to be here. Yeah, it's a dream to be here.
On the 5th of May 2025, Trent Alexander-Arnold would connect the dots for everyone who was wondering about the lack of a new contract, as it turned out that he had another dream that he was keeping away from the Liverpool fans. If history has shown us anything about one club players who went out on adventures, it's that such players usually leave when they are closer to retirement. Whether it's Victor Valdez, who left Barcelona at the age of 32, or Bastian, who left Bayern Munich at the age of 31, the difference between Trent and these other players is Trent is at the peak age of 26 in footballing years. And if history has shown us anything about Madrid, they can make deals that have shocked the world, and one of the great examples is that of Luis Figo, who left Barcelona at the height of his career. But with all the loyalty that has been thrown out of the window, what if I told you that Trent could be the next Matteo Flamini, who is a former Arsenal player turned into a billionaire? But before I speak on those possibilities, I have to agree with Liverpool fans on the living for free part, because when you think about how Liverpool sold a 25-year-old Coutinho for 142 million to Barcelona back in 2018 and used the money to bring in Virgil and Alisson, to now fast forward in 2025, they just lost a 100 million valued player that they developed for more than 20 years for a fee of just 10 million, while Harry Kane and short Bayern had paid 100 million to his boyhood club Tottenham, or even Jack Grealish when he left his boyhood club Aston Villa for Man City on a 100 million transfer deal. Now when you consider the amount of millions Liverpool has missed out on just for trying to join a direct UEFA Champions League rival that is going to try and stop them from winning the competition, and best believe Xavi Alonso will try and use Trent to prepare for any insight on Liverpool's weaknesses, and that's a couple of benefits. Real Madrid is rumored to be paying a 30 million signing bonus to Trent instead of paying 100 million to Liverpool, which allows Madrid to have another 60 million to make their squad even stronger. I'm telling you, not even Hollywood can write the script, because 1 year before this whole conflict, Trent Alexander-Arnold was on the news attacking Man City's treble titles from 2022 by saying Man City's titles don't even mean that much when it's compared to Liverpool's titles. A small beef between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Erling Haaland, but the interesting part is that he would go on another interview and state that his favorite club is Barcelona, and would go on to further push the notion of how glorified Liverpool is by comparing their morals to those of Barcelona, which we know Barcelona and Madrid are opposites. If you love Barcelona, you've got to hate the other, right? Well, in this case, we're talking about modern day football. When you think about the sort of money that's being offered by rich clubs, and also take into consideration that football careers are known to be short, with reports stating that an average career of a Premier League player is 8 to 10 years long, and also take into consideration that most players go broke in less than 5 5 years after their playing careers, I think each and everyone would want their close relative to make as much money as possible, to invest into some businesses. As much money as there is in football, there is no excuse why we don't hear stories of players like Matteo Flamini, who turned himself into a billionaire after playing for Arsenal and AC Milan, sitting with a net worth of 21 billion, while former Man United striker Louis Saha is valued at 4.3 billion. And quite as kept, most people will never bring up the fact that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a part owner of an F1 team, and also he's the owner of PLG agency where his brother Tyler is the director. A lot of investments by players while playing football, they sometimes don't turn into fruition. I remember players like Kevin Garnett or Tim Duncan, who are basketball players of course. Such players were robbed by their agents who stole millions and millions through white-collar crime called embezzlement. And just to get back on topic, I'm not saying that Trent is going to be an unsuccessful businessman. It's just that he is a businessman who needs a financial injection. But what's more even funny is the inside joke when Jude Bellingham visited Liverpool's locker room to give Trent Alexander-Arnold a Madrid jersey, just to show Liverpool players where he was heading. And not long after that, we saw a video on Mo Salah's Instagram page where it looked like there was some sort of intervention. But the last nail in the coffin was when he had a fallout with the Liverpool coach in mid-season. With everything that has happened, I have to tip my head off to Trent Alexander-Arnold, because if he's turning his back to further extend his business portfolio so that he can reach the heights of Louis Saha and Flamini, just looking at the situation purely from the financial perspective and as a man, playing for Madrid means he's at the best possible club to get as much money as possible. Even if he moves away from Madrid, there will be teams lined up just to sign him because he's a former Madrid player. Whether it's Casemiro, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Varane, Sergio Ramos, Madrid is known to find big contracts for their older players before they go and retire, or you can just follow Kylian Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. wherever they go. Like Lionel Messi has also organized big contracts for Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba at Inter Miami. The top 4 highest paid players for Inter Miami are friends of Lionel Messi. Till next time, peace.